The red zone is for kung fu fighting only. Kung fu fighting only in the red zone.
Smoking is not permitted in the cockfighting pit.
Hello.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Riker's Beard Live. It's fantastic to be here, as always, with the deck to my aunt. Have I got that the right way round?
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
The deck to my aunt, James. How the devil are you, James?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm all right. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I've had an extremely busy weekend and it's come to the end of it. And to report, this is going to be my last sober Riker's Beard Live for a while because we're almost at the end of dry February already. So if I appear unusually focused, I do apologise. Normal service will be returning next week. Carl is hopefully going to be with us this evening, but his graphics card...
He's having technical trouble, but he's correcting it, yes.
He's correcting it. So in the meantime, for those of you who haven't watched before, I'm Richard. And this is my colleague James, and we represent the Riker's Beard. If this is the first time that you're watching the show, it's fantastic to see you, and we're very, very pleased to have you aboard. Please pop in the comments, say hello, say where you're from, your favourite Trek episode, your favourite Trek series, your favourite Trek actor, all that jazz. We love to hear it, especially from our international viewers, so please do say hello. And for our millions of regular viewers, hello, Chris. How the devil are you?
Good evening, dear boy.
Dave, how you doing again, Dave? All right. Linda, how are you? Yes, to be fair, we're the only one on at Sunday at 9 o'clock, but it's very kind of you to say. Hello, Gary. I saw Gary earlier today, I believe. I saw him yesterday. I waved to him on a bridge.
Did you?
I did. Or he's just coming off a bridge, I think. Good evening, Victoria. How are you? Hey, Mark. How are you doing?
Yeah, standing
James.
Carl. Yeah.
Again, hey, James. How you doing? And Louise, and she loves Discovery. Fantastic. We love that you love Discovery. You don't have to. She's being sarcastic. Sorry, it doesn't translate well in the text.
Is that a new profile picture, Louise? It looks like you've cartooned yourself in a Lower Decks style.
Doesn't it? It's rather good. Well, I've got some news regarding Lower Decks. I was hoping Carl was going to be here because he's better at sharing pages, but I'll try and see if I can do this. The problem is, when you share a browser page, I'm always a little bit concerned.
Yeah, you've got to close all those Pornhub tabs, haven't you?
Hey, look, I'm not embarrassed by that. But what if I was watching an episode of Discovery or something? Let me see if I can try and bring right. I'll share screen. I think it's this one. And can everyone see that?
Some figurines.
Some figurines, yes. Some master replicas have announced they're going to be releasing some figures, including some lower decks figures. We've got Worf without a bat'leth. I think that's supposed to be Shaw.
Isn't that Riker?
That's meant to be Shaw, isn't it? Riker doesn't wear a uniform in, or does he?
Yeah, he does.
Well, it looks more like Shaw than it does Riker to me.
Well, it could well be Shaw. It looks more like Frakes to me, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. The middle one is Picard.
Look, there's someone trying to join the chat. Look who it is. There he is.
Hello, Carl. We're just looking at some plastic. How the devil are you?
Oh, I love looking at plastic. I'm grand, gentlemen. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Thank you. Really good.
All better for seeing you, dear boy.
Hopefully, you can help us out here. And is that Shaw or is that Riker stood next to Worf?
I would say, based on the jacket, it's Riker.
Okay.
I can understand.
Not on the obvious likeness, then, no?
No.
Okay. And then I'm thinking that's got to be Spock. Strange New World Spock.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
And the stupid-looking ones are the crap from Lower Decks.
Tendy's eyes seem out of proportion slightly.
She looks like she's been taken by surprise. And I don't mean that in a sexual way. I just mean purely that something's...
Is that
Sorry,
right?
do it again?
You say these are master replicas?
Allegedly, yes. I think they don't... I would be disappointed if I opened a box and it said Master Replica and I got a bad G.I. Joe figure in it. I'd be somewhat disappointed.
I mean, master replicas have a reputation for producing some really high-end replicas.
Yeah.
They were the benchmark. And these don't...
Card and Spock look good.
Well, look at the nature of the figures where the limbs are, for example. The joints are rubbish. These aren't high-end replicas.
Well, Riker's crotch has been grossly misrepresented.
Isn't Riker quite a bit taller than Picard?
Yeah. And Mariner, I mean, she seems to have rickets.
But she's got a huge head.
Well, yeah. So, anyway, that's our first bit of news. Are we going to? How do I stop this now? Right. Are we going to be rushing down to the shops to buy these chaps?
No.
Rushing? No.
I mean, if we go to Blackpool and there's a merchant table and they have them for sale for, say, 10 quatlus, would you pay 10 quatlus for one?
8 quatlus.
How does that translate to Barrowmans?
10 quatlus, 10,000 Barrowmans.
Oh, right, okay.
What do you think? What do we think in the comments? So, where are we? So, well, I think Louise's taste gets better and better.
Louise is like, it's there, I must have it. Although, to be fair, I want to talk. So.
James likes them. He's fairly certain it's Riker. Christoph thinks it's Shaw. Vicky thinks it's Carl. Fair enough. We could. Do you know what? If we got an orange marker pen and and have at that figure, we could probably do a Carl. And I think that just for that, we should get one, and I'll do it. I'll do a nice job of it. It won't look shit.
To be fair, it's not unprecedented. You had the Eagle Moss representative believing they'd done a gold mail on freighter.
I forgot we did that.
Doable. We have it within our power to do these things.
I came across the advert.
Folks at home, what happened about Eagle Moss and how we persuaded them about the gold mail-on freighter?
But before Carl tells the story, would you like to? I found the advert we did for it. Do you remember the advert?
Classic.
I found it the other day. I'll dig it. You tell the story, and I'll dig it up.
Well, I wasn't actually there, so I purely heard the myth and the fable that's just awesome beyond belief. So my belief of this encounter is that I believe it was you gentlemen turned up at the Eagle Moss stand at a destination event,
I
and
think it was the
managed
last
to.
one in London, so it was about 20. I want to say 22.
Sounds about right, yeah. Because I was actually within miles of you, just couldn't attend.
Hmm. Oh, you were at a conference or something? Is that right?
Yeah, I was at my my boss's leaving do,
Oh.
which I was unfortunately unable to get out of. So near but so far was literally the case at the time. But I believe you'd managed to subtly play a game of almost like magicians. You'd managed to distract the representative at the table, and with sleight of hand, slip in the gold-plated Malon freighter onto his display table, and then proceeded to question him about said gold-plated Malon freighter, which he then proceeded to. We are after the watershed, aren't we? Yeah. He then proceeded to bullshit you about that it was actually one of his.
I can't find the advert now.
I couldn't remember when they stopped making it.
We knew it was extremely limited, as I recall.
And in the end, we did say to him, "Look, we're pulling your chain. We put that there."
Oh, did we actually own up? I didn't realise we owned up.
Because we wanted to leave with the Malon freighter. We couldn't just leave it on his table, and we couldn't, in full sight of him, just walk off with it without explaining. I have to tell you, my Malon freighter, it fell off the shelf and broke. I was so heartbroken. I spent literally no time thinking about fixing it.
Right.
So, dear viewer, if you have these con practical jokes you would like us to attempt, please put them in the comments because it is within our power.
We're very good at practical jokes, aren't we, Carl? For example,
yes.
Walking into a room and just saying, "I'm here to collect the balloon arch." Which I was.
And if you happen to find a pair of rather large googly eyes on your car headlights when leaving your convention, do not presume it's us.
So, who would like to see the Malon Freighter commercial?
Excellent.
As produced by Riker's Beard Studios. Sorry, it's still up. It's uploaded. It's just processing. So, what we decided we would do after this incident, we thought, well, let's see if we can make an actual commercial and try and sell this gold Malon freighter. So Riker's Beard Studios got very hard at work, and we produced what I think is probably some of our best work.
The visual effects are second to none.
It's definitely some of our best work. Are we ready? Is everyone in the comments ready? Okay, here we go. The pursuit of perfection begins with a dream. Irresistible desire. You demanded. You waited. They delivered. Something to exceed the expectation of millions. You wanted more. Malon Cloak Activate Edition. And more. The Gold Edition.
realised then, gents, as soon as Blue Oyster came on, we immediately started dancing, all three of us in the background, even though no one could see us.
There's so much to talk about that commercial. But first of all, if you're watching and you enjoyed it, please let us know what you loved the most about it in the comments. I like the way that it was subtle and not overly dramatic.
Yeah.
I like the way that we took a freighter that essentially looks a bit like a healthy poo or a poor picnic bar, and actually spray painted it gold to make it look better.
I think the
So there we are.
soundtrack was Oscar worthy.
Oh,
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, that's some of my best. I imagined I was trying to sell a Volvo on a trendy advert. Yeah, that's what I went for.
and my favourite is that the caption that talks about the pursuit of perfection has a typo.
Yes. So again, James.
The caption that says "in pursuit of perfection" has a typo.
Yes. Yes, I remember when I was producing it and you pointed out the typo, and I said, "Well, let's just leave it in."
It works.
Because it works. Yeah, let's just leave it in. So Vicky would be reluctant to buy one of those. Understandable.
How could you resist?
Try and get them on sale. Well, the gold one, it's a bit of a rare. Who has the gold one? Did we auction it off?
I think we did as a prize. I'm not sure who you had it, so I don't know if you ever handed it off to somebody else or was it waiting to go to someone.
I've got a feeling I posted it to Richard Ginn.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Louise is going to wind us up so much in Blackpool. The best way to wind us up,
Louise, you have to get us to get there in the first place. Yes.
just the best way to wind us up is either to buy us lots of drinks or to perform some sort of belly dance. Just that really irritates us, doesn't it, chaps?
that does. But on the floor of Blackpool, we are yet to have a confirmed invitation. So if you guys watching, want to make your voices known with Destination, that we are standing by to host the main stage, that we are standing by to do everything else, including the Riker's Beard sing along, which is going to be epic, and the Riker's Beard cosplay competition. And of course, the Riker's Beard homemade flamethrower competition.
So this is. Did you know that Elon Musk, right, is building a tunnel under New York to solve traffic?
Yeah, I saw about that a few months
Did you
ago.
know how he funded it? He sold 50,000 flamethrowers.
Oh yes, I did see that.
That's brilliant.
Talk about thinking outside the box.
Oh, it's fantastic. Crystal says, speaking of Blackpool, Britannia, who owns the Norbreck Castle, has a hotel in Brighton. It's in not so bad shape after a partial fire. The shore road in front of it has been closed off for public safety. I'm not staying at the Norbreck.
I will vouch. The Norbreck was absolutely fine.
It sounds like it's going to be the warmest place to be in Blackpool.
Genuinely, I had absolutely no issue with the Norbreck. Granted,
that's what from everyone I heard that stayed. Yeah, everyone that I heard that stayed there said it was nothing like The Shining.
No, absolutely not. There was no one running around with axes. Nothing. Well, I did run around with an axe at one point, but.
So if we're taking orders for mail on freighters, Chris would like a cloaked one. It's in the post.
Here's one that we prepared earlier.
Let us know when it arrives.
Look at all the detailing on it. Look at that.
So intricate.
Dropped it.
Yeah, literally epic. Loved the cloak. Loved it so much. Loved. Lots of love.
So many loves.
It made the mail on freighter look like Russell Crowe in Gladiator. Wow. Linda says looks much better in gold, but it's gold plated edition. Chris will join in the oyster dance with us. Fantastic.
This is it.
Amy saying Riker's Beard contraceptive. It's not cream, it's a foam.
Yes, it's a
cream doesn't work, it's a foam. Happy with the Norbrecht, good time, a little bit shabby but fine. And
Did what it said on the tin.
Norbrecht. We're up to date with the
Oh, I like that. Terek Norbrecht. Oh, I like that.
In about 15 minutes, chaps, we might be playing a game. So get your thinking caps on now for what you might want to go into a certain room.
Oh, that's right. Look, I've just put this comment up from Mike. I think Mike is in Miami, which I think he's telling us he's about to embark on the cruise.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
So, Mike, tell us all about it. Who's on the cruise this year? I think I saw Kate Mulgrew was going.
Well, I believe our this side, the logo, I believe Mr. Frakes himself is supposed to be on the cruise this year, isn't he?
Is he really?
I'm sure I saw.
Oh.
Is this the chap? Is this the cruise the chap who was in one episode of Voyager keeps trying to get himself invited on, isn't it?
Been Mandarin Jeremy. He's been reaching out a lot, seeing if they might invite him. Yeah.
And he was one of the Borg children, wasn't he?
He was. He was actually in quite a few episodes of Voyager and
okay.
in the audiobooks as well. But his character was recast in Picard and then brutally killed off.
Yes, quite savagely. Yeah.
I think when James uses the word reaching out, most of us would say scrambling.
I was being kind, Carl.
Yeah, I'm a few in. I'm not going to be that kind.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
It's true.
Which just reminding everyone that's watching, if you'd like to take to social media and ask Blackpool when they're actually going to extend their invitation. Well, this is the thing, they have invited us. They just haven't confirmed us. But anyway, here we go. You could get them to confirm our travel plan.
Logistics to things like the helicopter to transport the set there and everything. It all has to be arranged. We have to get landing permits and things.
Well, Chinooks are not cheap.
Yeah. If only we had some sort of feature about massive choppers.
And a special roving reporter, maybe.
Yes.
Have you got that ready to roll? Have you?
I probably can do within seconds.
Oh! Have you got any of my massive chopper clips?
I've got the intro, I think.
I keep sending them to you, but you guys ignore them every week.
Pretty much.
Ignoring your massive chopper.
I think we might have deleted your sting for it as well.
Oops.
Oh no!
No,
we've got it
with this.
Helicopter!
This is the video where ordinarily I would introduce some sort of clip about a gigantic chopper.
This week,
my colleagues don't seem to pay attention when I send them the links. So I don't know if we have a massive chopper that we could look at this week.
I have one lined up.
We have one lined up.
All right. Well, let's roll VT then.
I have one lined up as it was a special commemorative occasion from our youngest viewer and roving reporter, my dear son, William. So here we go. Let me cue this in.
No, there's no audio, Carl. Oh, let's do the audio.
It's looking military. What have we got here? Is that an Apache? It's difficult to tell through the branches.
No, it's not an Apache.
Oh no, not with that door open. No.
It's definitely a helicopter.
This landed in my son's primary school playground.
Oh, it's some sort of army helicopter.
Well, it's got military paint scheme, but oh, no.
He does say something cute here about James and Richard's massive choppers, which is nice.
So he basically says there, apparently his mother, my better half, apparently it took about 10 takes to get him to sit there and go, "Hi, this is William Bromley, and this is Massive Choppers." Yeah, no, it's a lovely occasion. So a reading assistant at Young Williams School is 102. And he was a glider pilot during World War II, and the RAF came to honour him. And this is how they honoured him. They flew in a Wildcat to the school playground and gave a presentation to him for all the good things that he's done in his life. It was a truly fantastic experience.
Was he a Hawker pilot then? One of
Yeah, splendid.
Gliders.
Yeah.
Yes, very effective on D-Day.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
That's absolutely wonderful.
That's a lovely and very personal Massive Choppers episode. Thank you for that, Carl.
Yes, thank you, Carl. Right, well, we're about the halfway mark. It means it's normally time to play a game. James, would you like me to sub in for you this week?
Yeah, you can sub in.
Do you want to host it? Because you fed up of losing so much that...
Got nothing ready.
Okay, right. Okay, so, Richard, which hand?
Hang on, we haven't played the thing yet. You're not very good at this, are you?
Right, okay, so welcome to this evening's Airlock 101. Gentlemen, in a moment I'm going to invite you to offer up to the assembled population something to be put into Airlock 101, from whence it shall never return and shall be erased for all time. So you must think carefully and act responsibly in your decisions. Richard, I'm going to offer you the choice. Which hand is the plectrum in?
Your left hand.
My left hand.
Yes.
Oh, look, he's right. There it is.
I do play the guitar. I shall go second.
Right. Okay. So Richard has chosen to go second. Carl, would you like to let us know what you have for us this week on Airlock 101?
Well, I did absolutely zero preparation for this, as you probably saw in the background. I went scrambling around my man cave, came up with this.
A rubber duck.
I want rid. Simple as that. These things should not exist as a tribute to the fandom that we hold so dear.
Wasn't that a present?
Maybe.
Who got it for you?
I can't remember.
I think it was me.
As dear as it is to me as a gift, I will always hold it dear in that sense. Hence why there is now a gap here on my shelf. No, there's a gap here on my shelf. It had said precedence that it sat right there on my shelf. So I hold it dear as a gift. However, within the Trek universe, genuinely, can anyone see a need for this? A reason, even? It's a Spock. It's a... What's a Spock?
Why has it got a blue face?
Well, it lights up when you put it in the water and the electrodes get connected by the water, but the battery ran out so quick it doesn't even work anymore.
I mean, it's a bit like when you go on Display and you look for a decent Star Trek poster and all those stupid cat Star Trek things come up. Do you know? Does any idiot actually buy those, other than as gifts?
Oh, they've got books of the Star Trek cats and everything. I'm allergic to cats. Don't anyone ever buy me any of those.
I'm not allergic to them. I just hate them. And I have 2 of them.
So I treasure it dearly as a gift, even though I can't remember exactly who it was off. It may have been.
It wasn't me. I think I do remember who did give it to you, though.
I genuinely don't know, and I do treasure it as a gift because someone obviously put thought and effort into it. But for something that exists around the fandom, not so much.
All right, so that's Carl's case for the Spuck.
They do all the ones. They do a Worf. They do a Geordie. It's like no.
Well, just to be clear, is it the Spuck or is it all of the?
No, it's the whole range. The whole.
They do a Geordie one.
Right.
They got on with a visor.
Yeah, there's no need for them.
If the public vote for Carl, you're saying goodbye to every rubber duck of a Star Trek character.
Every Star Trek rubber duck.
Every series for all time.
Gone. Never existed. We wouldn't even know about them.
Yeah, I suppose then no one would have to pay the bill. Right. Okay. Sir Richard.
Well, mine's. I really needed a couple of props for this, but so bear with me. I'm fed up of in Star Trek everything always being the right way up. So let's say we've got here's one starship and here's another starship, and they meet each other in space. They're always the right way up. One of them's not like that or like that or like that. They're always that way up. Now, I get it's better for the screen and everything, and it looks better when a Romulan warbird's facing off against the Enterprise if they're lined up nicely. I get it looks better, but they just have to come up with some sort of explanation, like an attachment on the ship, the auto leveling compensator that when two ships meet, they immediately kind of sync up and they go the right way up. It's nothing against it being aesthetically pleasing. I understand why, but if they're not going to have an explanation for it, can we not stop always being the right way up? We should be kind of sideways, and when they teleport as well, when they do the transporter, it's like if they're slightly off, they'd just fall down like side, wouldn't they? How are they know where the floor is?
Too, if you remember when Rios beamed in, he turned up about 20 feet above the floor.
Yeah. Well, yes, but now we're talking about things being the wrong height. I don't like things being the right way up. That's what's annoying me.
Right. There's a British compensation button that they press that basically means they're just being polite to each other.
But they shouldn't be always the right way up. It just doesn't make any sense why they'd be the same way up. There's no up or down in space. So,
to be fair, though, if you were the captain of a starship,
I mean, if there was protocol, like when two ships approach each other, whichever's the biggest ship, the smaller one has to then go into line with that one, and everyone knew that was the rule. Fine, let's have that, and let's explain it.
Detailed. So, like when I'm working behind the bar, if there's two of us on a busy bar heading towards each other, you do it the same as you do on the road. You go to the left. So you pass each other. Well, maybe it's the same thing. Maybe it's just one of those unwritten rules in space that they just like, oh, there's the bigger ship. I'll write myself to it.
Yeah, which is fine. But in one episode, could we just have that explained so we know why we're always the right way up? I just don't think it's not
screen time dedicated.
He and his colleagues approach each other at 90 degrees. So Carl is upside down for some reason as he approaches his colleague.
Yeah, I happen to be walking along the ceiling of the bar. Unbeknownst to me, one of my colleagues is on the actual floor.
So just so we're straight, I'm not saying everything that's the right way up is going to room 101, and we're all going to be in like, what's that painting where everyone's walking upside down? And that's not going to happen. I just want us to stop being the right way up until it's flipping explained why we're always the right way up.
So what you want to put into Airlock 101
is the lack of an explanation of being the right way up. Yes.
Okay. So
extended request that one.
So, dear viewer, if you would like to see all rubber ducks based on Star Trek characters banished forever into Airlock 101,
look at it
by saying Carl. And if you would like the concept of ships approaching each other at anything other than the exact same angle, then you will vote by saying Richard. Vote now, and we'll play the sting while you put your votes in. Right. Okay. So let's have a look at the votes. So we start with, where do they start? I'm trying to work out where they start. Right, Carl. If you want to put a finger up, 1 for Carl, 1 for Richard, 1 for Carl, 1 for Richard.
Well, it's close.
1 for Carl. Oh, oh! Look at this! Look!
Oh my lord!
It's all over the place. So where does that leave us? Was that
4-3 to
4-3?
Oh, he's got he's nicked it at the end there.
You know what? I've got to be honest. That was a lot closer than I thought
Oh,
it would be.
Hang on a minute. Is that another one?
Hang on.
Whoa, hang on.
Whoa. No, Adam had already counted as Richard.
Alan hadn't though. That's 4-all.
Now it's too late.
No,
That's
too
a tie.
late. Too late. No, it's too late.
Alan's old. He probably couldn't find his keyboard. Don't be so anti-ageist.
Alan is one of the most tech-savvy guys I know. Never mind his age.
Right, okay then. I'll concede that due to Alan being slow and old, you've won this round.
Right, well, there you go. So that means Star Trek flavoured rubber
Oh,
duck.
I tell you what, Richard, I bet you're spitting feathers now, aren't you? Oh,
Oh, the whole thing's quackers. Right.
oh. To be fair, I was winging it.
Oh!
Oh, Alan. Oh, Alan.
Oh, Alan.
My hero.
Right, James's decision is final.
Absolutely.
Well, that was a bit of fun, wasn't it? It was a bit of fun.
On to more news. I've got more news.
Oh, right.
I'm trying to find. I've lost it now. I can remember what the news is. It was some sort of convention in Toronto that William Shatner was a part of, and this was a couple of days ago, and it's quite exciting. This because the Kurtzman era has revealed, and it's not just Star Trek, and it's not just Paramount. Everything's on bended knee at the moment to ram diversity down our throats ahead of ability. So, William Shatner's demand to be in anything, obviously, in this current climate would be zero because he's quite conservative and right wing, which came as something as a surprise when I heard that he's been approached by a writer at Paramount about being in an upcoming series in development. And apparently the concept sounds quite good, and he is awaiting to hear the pitch, but they're very keen on him to be in it. Now, whether you're a fan of William Shatner or not, whether you think there's space for a 93-year-old, whether a 93-year-old should really be working, neither here nor there. I think the fact that they've reached out to Shatner may well be an indication that we're taking a step away from doing diversity ahead of ability, and we're going to be having, some decent Star Trek, and they're going to take a bit of note of what's been popular with Strange New Worlds and what's not been popular in Discovery in Section 31. It's certainly an unexpected and bold. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. We're not here to judge. But it certainly surprised me that a studio like Paramount would be reaching out to a conservative like William Shatner. So maybe they're going to stop their prejudices and we're going to have a bit more diversity and inclusivity put into stories. Or am I reading that a bit too in depth?
The bit that I read basically was that Shatner's been approached unbelievable amounts of times over the last 30 years since he appeared in Generations to reprise the role of Kirk in one way, shape, or form, and he's
done it twice. Can you name both occasions?
Oh, crikey! Starfleet Academy.
Yes.
The PC game.
Yes. Much more recently than that.
No. Are you thinking of the little viral thing that went around about 6-7 months ago? I was going to say, because that was actually a different actor. Wasn't
well, the unification
Yeah, that was actually a different actor that was.
It was Bill's voice, but it was a fantastic short film. Yeah,
and it was a great piece of work. Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't name you the second, unfortunately.
The Oscars, when they were presented by Seth MacFarlane, Shatner appeared on screen as Kirk, communicating with Seth MacFarlane throughout.
Yes, of course.
Ah, there you go.
Yes. Gamusa!
he has been approached and has been knocking it back a few cameos, but he's not been approached.
He's knocked it back on the basis of what most Trek actors say to the public, in that they want it to be to do with the character. Same reason that Patrick Stewart always said he would never reprise Picard until it actually happened, because he was interested in the storyline for Picard, the character. That apparently is the reason he's been knocking them back from the article I read. But
well, I think it's a plus. The fact that they're thinking of him and approaching him, I think is a good sign for people who want decent stuff.
Apparently, he also said he's due to find out from the writers exactly what that approach is on either Monday or Tuesday this week coming. So who knows? By this time next week, we may have more to go on.
I'll tell you what it's going to be. I know what it's going to be. Loblaws want him back to do some more adverts.
He's 93. He's not going to be a series lead.
Frozen yogurt, frozen vegetables.
As much as he's rejected the cameos, let's face it, there is actually a part of the upcoming Starfleet Academy series. Now, they've supposedly wrapped season 1, but let's face it, all these streaming series, they get a season 2 and 3 before they've even aired season 1. There's no reason why the writers
recommissioned it. Yeah.
Well, the last we saw of Kirk canonically was his remains in season 3 of Picard.
Yeah.
So we've got his DNA.
Yeah.
Actually, if you listen carefully, there was a life sign monitor from the original series going ba-doop, ba-doop, which implied that he might not be dead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
But if you take it that there is the Starfleet Academy series that's going to be coming out, so seasons 2 or 3, if the writers are just starting to talk to him now about it, there's potential for the character of Kirk to be in seasons 2 or 3 of Starfleet Academy. And let's face it, within Starfleet, he's a massively iconic figure. So as much as it may not be a cameo, it may be a semi-series regular type thing. There's no reason why they couldn't. It's a stretch. But
at 93, it would have to be like.
They'd have to film it all at once and just drop it in.
No, it'd be like they talk to him like he's on holiday and he dials it in via satellite or something,
Yeah, maybe, but is that not enough nowadays?
Yeah.
Let's face it, one of our biggest problems with modern Trek has been the writers. If they can make sure it's dialed in, they'll dial it in.
Well, I personally, I don't want to be ageist. I'm just not sure it's, going after a 93-year-old to reprise a role. I know he's quite spry, but I think it's a bit much.
Did you watch the special of when he went up on the Blue Origin?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's still got it in him.
Yeah, I'm not saying he hasn't got it in him. I'm just saying, should he be doing it?
No, I think he's still got it in him. He's still as elaborate as ever.
When he did the captain's job, I thought he was very good and very sharp on that. And I realised that's like 12, 15 years ago now.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, I hope we get to see him in the nicest way possible. I hope we don't get to see him too much. I hope I
would love if, like the cast of TNG and Picard season 3, if he had one last encore at this point, I think that'd be beautiful, as long as it was done the right way.
Well, it's exciting news. I think it's good news for us all that love Star Trek. On this particular news thing, I was just trying to find the details of the company was at. They've got a review of Section 31.
Oh, this will be good.
It's massively long, but I will read just the tagline.
This. Let me take my drink up.
Star Trek Section 31 review. The franchise's first Paramount Plus film that's boldly going nowhere.
Do we have to?
So there we are. There's other eyebrow rising stuff. They've done a year in review, and they put. I'll read this out, and I'll invite you to comment. Since its premiere, Discovery certainly had its moments of greatness. Perhaps no other show embodied Star Trek's ideals and Gene Roddenberry's vision so well, especially the series final. Michael Burnham, played incredibly by Sonique Martin-Green, cemented herself in our eyes as one of the best leading performers of the franchise, and the show's high production values always offered bountiful eye candy. I invite you to comment.
Who wrote that? And was it April Fool's Day?
No, that was written by... They haven't given their name.
You know what? I'm not surprised.
No, they haven't given their name. Oh, no, by Kyle Haydniak.
Right, so someone's saying the finale of Discovery was the best of Discovery. Well, I'm sorry, it wasn't.
What happened in the finale? I can't even remember. Did they all die? No, presumably they didn't, because two of them at least are going on to Starfleet Academy, aren't they?
Well, Discovery's finale was it was kind of like Enterprise. It was a stupidly quick wrap up because they didn't realize it was coming. But I'm sorry, but I mean, you gents will attest to this. I was an advocate of Discovery for the first 2.5 seasons, but that's halfway through, yeah, very much so. And we did a few late night lives after the show several times, which I really seriously defended Discovery. But 2.5 seasons in, and I couldn't do it anymore.
Well, after Pike and Spock left it. Because they came in season 2 and actually elevated it from the loss of Jason Isaacs, because he carried season 1 on his own, pretty much.
Isaacs carried season 1, and he carried it very well. The extras that they brought in for season 2, and the storyline was okay, and the fact that they actually wandered around doing a few separate things and kind of like alluded to a longer term storyline, fine. Season 3, I thought, was really exciting at the start, and for the first half of it was fantastic. And then they just blew the fans off and went, oh, well, bugger you, we're going to do what we want, and you will like it whether you do or don't. Well, they lost me at that point.
I mean, the highlight of that particular piece of writing for me is the way that they're excited about Sonique and Martin Green and the character Michael Burnham, because for me that was probably the biggest letdown of the entire series, all of the series, because I was a big fan of hers and I thought she was a great actress. I think we both said it after season 1 and after season 2, we were actually quite excited to see her in season 3, and we wondered if she'd be able to step up and actually, just because she didn't have the gravitas in season 1 or 2 to carry a show. She couldn't be a lead, but we thought, well, she's warming up to it and she'll step up season 3, and she just absolutely crashed and burned with some of the worst acting I've ever seen. Which was a real shame, because we're all rooting for her. We wanted her to be good.
But I think half of that problem was the writing. And Richard, you've always spoken about the writing on Discovery. In that, I don't think it gave her a chance. I mean, take season 3 where everyone thought, she's going to step up. Half of season 3 was, is Saru the captain? Is Burnham the captain? Who the hell is the goddamn captain? No one knew. And then right at the end, it was like, we're just going to throw this complete curveball that no one saw coming, and you will have to accept it.
I mean, it is, in her defense, she's not a bad actress at all, because I thought she was very good in...
You will be shot!
I thought she was very good in The Walking Dead. I enjoyed her in that. But she never had a lead role. And I just don't think she's a leading actress. And when you've got other actors that are meant to be your kind of co-stars, like who's the actor that plays Saru? I've forgotten his name now.
Doug Jones.
Doug Jones, who, with all that crap in his face, is still out acting her. Anthony Rapp, really good actor. You know, he's acting the pants off of her. But when you got co-stars that are really significantly better actors than you, and you're supposed to be the series lead, it was never going to be easy. And I think she was hung out to dry a little bit with some poor writing. It didn't really give her much of a chance, you're right. But then Anthony Rapp and Doug Jones didn't have good lines either, but they were very good. So,
yeah,
yes.
But yeah,
how are they talking about Discovery, given that we don't have very much positive to say about it?
I wanted it to be good. I really did.
Well, it is finished now. It's done. Lower Decks is done. I still haven't managed to finish watching that. I just had too much to do.
Did you enjoy the whole scene at the end where Riker and Troy turn up? And
don't spoil it for me. I think we've covered this, but if we haven't, WWE wrestler Becky Lynch is going to be in Starfleet Academy, which I'm a big fan of the wrestling. Sadly, not a big fan of her. She's really irritating, which doesn't bode well for what they might be going for in this new Starfleet Academy series. But let's see. Let's see what happens.
I go into every new series with hope.
Absolutely. Prodigy was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. I mean, the first few episodes of Prodigy, I was like, "Oh, where's this guy?" And this is really, and then I ended up really getting into it. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, you never know what might happen.
And Robert Picardo's in Starfleet Academy.
Yes, Robert Picardo's in it. Very excited about seeing him.
It'll be fun to see what he's in it as. Is he the EMH or a version of, or is he going to be Dr. Lewis Zimmerman?
Ooh.
Or is he going to be a completely different character? And then they're all going to go, but hey, you've got exactly the same face as the EMH. And they'll go, I don't see it. And
I'm a descendant of it. It's going to be the whole Brent Spiner thing, isn't it? Oh, look, 5 generations look exactly the same.
Chris, why?
Chris is just trying to wind us up, I think.
Why would you
know she really is in it? As is Jet Reno or whatever.
I really hope she's in it right at the start, just like Spock's replacement in the motion picture. Whatever it was, it didn't live long. Thank God.
In TNG, we're going to put Neelix into it. We've got something that's basically perfect, and we're going to wreck it.
I like Neelix.
From the outset.
Chris says Prodigy was great. Yeah, it was great. It did drag on a bit, but it was good. EMH Mark 25. Agreed, love Prodigy. Tilly is a redhead. That sounds like the start of one. Sounds like the start of one of your dirty poems, Alan. Let's stay away from that.
You know, again, even in the first couple of seasons, I think there was potential for Tilly in those first couple of seasons, and I genuinely just think it was the writing that didn't do them any justice.
She really could not act at all. I don't think even good writing would have helped her. Maybe if someone was shouting, "He's behind you," she could have got.
I'm trying to be positive.
No, she couldn't act. Sorry. I'm sure she's a lovely person, but she shouldn't be acting. Neelix and Jar Jar Binks in an odd couple comedy sitcom. Presumably Neelix would cook Jar Jar Binks, would he?
I think what happens is this.
We're suddenly
we nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Chris says she might need to go into L. Unfortunately, nothing Discovery related can go into L at 1-on-1. That's a rule of the show, I'm afraid, Chris.
Because it's too easy.
Too easy.
Yeah.
Hang on, what's this comment from Vicky all about? What we want's the redhead, Alan? What do we know here?
I feel like I'm missing something.
I am as well. What's going on there? Please elaborate. We need to know more.
I think they're writing this dirty poem between the two of them. That's the second line.
Secret code
Tilly is a redhead. We wants the redhead.
Hang on, Chris is getting in on this as well now. Hang on, what's going on here? Whoa!
Alan will get it.
Wild.
Alan's certainly looking for it.
Yeah. I think Disneyland Paris.
Well, it's clearly something we haven't been invited to.
Whole New World, Magic Carpet Ride, Under the Sea. You know, what are we talking here?
I still think it's one of Alan's dirty poems.
Aren't there?
Could well be.
There was a young man from Venus whose thumb was shaped.
Picard to engineering.
Oh dear.
It's
a good job I haven't been drinking and I'm not silly doing this show. Right.
It's taking a lot of self-restraint.
We're pretty much at time, so before we go this evening, any other business, gentlemen?
No, I'm not sure there is.
So, Richard, my leave request that's been approved, the suggestion I put for an evening activity, I don't know if you looked at it in detail, actually includes an orchestral performance of the Picard Suite.
I did look at it and I'm excited by it, but there's this titty bar me and James want to go to, and
fair. Yeah, no, I'll waver. Absolutely. You know, I can see when I am outnumbered, gentlemen.
Sorry.
I just thought it was Trek related, but titty bar fun,
Yeah.
So if Carl could now stay, maybe I should approach the present Mrs. Dillon if I can make an appointment with her to have a conversation with her, which I've been trying to do for 3 weeks now, to tell her something very important, but I can't get a word in edgeways. So, perhaps I can just write to her and ask for permission.
Break it now, James, over the internet. We can be the conduit for said
I
conversation.
find it's a lot simpler to ask forgiveness than permission, James.
So, do you think I should just tell her I've sold the house? Sorry, I didn't tell you in advance.
Ooh.
Just tell her we're moving. I've bought another house.
And it's nicer. That's the key point. It's nicer.
More likely, no, I'm moving, not you.
Oh, James.
Oh. But it has a dishwasher.
I'm not going to tell them now.
We can move house, or we can send the children to boarding school. I mean, I'm more in favour of option 2, to be honest. But
got a boarding school just around the corner from you.
Yeah, I just don't want them to come back. That's the thing.
Or in which case, you send them and then move. So they've no idea where you are.
Boarding address, yes. Or we don't have to move. We could just answer the door in disguise and say, no, they moved away. You'll have to look somewhere else.
Tilly is a redhead who the Academy said she had no hope. She was a dope who got in by giving blankety blank, blankety blank, blankety blank, blankety blank. Do you know what? We could do that. I know we used to do checkety check with it. We could actually play Star Trek blankety blank.
Oh, we used to do stampety stamp, didn't
we? But no, we could do proper blankety blank.
Yeah.
So if we can get people in the audience, if we can get 2 people in the audience to play, then we could organise it. One of us would have to host it. The other 2 could be the celebrities, or we could get Tony on to be a celebrity.
Oh yeah, I'd love it.
Sorry, to be a celebrity. He is a celebrity.
Yeah.
But we could actually, if people are interested in us playing Star Trek blankety blank, I'll see if we can organise that one week. If we need 2 people to volunteer to come and play.
Tony has stopped returning our calls since you started trying to cast him in things.
It's a good point. I haven't heard from Tony in ages.
Tony,
Is that our version of overextending our welcome?
Call us.
Call me.
So,
Sad
right,
news, by the way, boys. Neighbours has been cancelled again.
Well, this is like the 4th time now.
No, it's
When
only
are they going to learn that it's uncancelable?
just before we go, Gary has kindly taken to social media on Destination Trek UK to send a screenshot of the show and say, Riker's Beard still haven't been confirmed for Blackpool. We need them as they were brilliant, plus their sets are most excellent. Thank you for that, Gary. And anyone else who's watching would like to do the same. We much appreciate it.
We need to do that because otherwise, I mean, we basically, you want us on the main stage, don't you? You don't want, I don't know,
They want us in the bar.
John Barrowman, do you? You want us?
Oh,
We don't have to do the main stage. We could do the bar stage.
We can do any stage.
you know, we're quite happy.
We were doing okay till they fell off the stage. We were doing okay till they went on the stage.
People are very excited to see the martial arts demonstration again.
Oh no, that went
Are you
down
doing the shield this time?
No, I'm just going to hit you.
Oh,
That was much more fun.
Alan, by the way, will you marry me? Oh, good. Oh, that's such a relief.
Right. Well, that about wraps it up for this week. So please do remember to look after yourselves and each other.
And don't have nightmares.
Take care.